Okay. We just save it for blooper reels.
Right? We should totally do that.
Sure, we said some funny shit.
10:15. Greetings, Koopalings. The Nintendo Shack is back for the third time. Ladies and gentlemen, especially if you were watching us live on Twitch, we apologize. We were having what we think was OBS issues that we were relating to maybe network. We restarted everything. We started it back up. And then the moment we started the new show, The Shack is back, Jason's internet went out. You cannot script that. I mean, it's out. He's in the dark right now.
Regional outage.
Like the entire town is out without internet right now. So we took everything offline just so we could get this done and get the podcast out on schedule. We will troubleshoot this and let you know if we have any issues going live next week. We're really sorry. We were really excited about this. We had Gamer Fudo putting us about it. We'd telling everybody like, hey, the Shack is 9:30. I feel like we let everybody down. I apologize. Hopefully they still download the podcast and give us a listen. I really hope so. And hopefully they enjoy it. But my name is Donnie Reese, a.k.a. Playin' Nintendo. I've brought my Nintendsis with me. Hi, Caroline.
Caroline Underwood, the Nintendo.
Back from her birthday celebration.
Yeah, my last year being 20. Woohoo.
That's right. You hit the hump. The humps.
I did.
You know, here's a sad thing. I honestly, half the time, don't even know how old I am.
I forgot. Like, I seriously forgot until I remembered earlier, like back in November. I was like, oh my God, it's 29 this year, right?
I legit told somebody I was 30 when I was 31.
Oh.
No. And not only did I tell them, like, legit believed it for like a month. And I was was thinking about it on the way to work one day. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not 30.
That's called dementia. I mean, you might want to go get tested.
It's just one of those things where, you know, I don't ever think about it much. You know, I bought the driver's license thing where you don't have to update it for like 5 years. I do the tag online.
Please. Mine is you don't have to update it for, I think, 12 years now,
Nice.
as long as you have an updated picture, and you can always do it online. So
Yep.
George is pretty good.
I don't do parties. Like, we don't do anything for my birthday. So
Yeah.
it's hard to remember. It's just a day. It's just a day of my life. Before we start the show, we'd like to once again plug that you can support us, the Nintendo Shack, as well as all of the shows at the PSVG Podcast Network by heading over to patreon.com/PSVG. We have a bunch of different tiers. One of those tiers is a monthly giveaway, which we put all of our patrons into a hat. We pull out a name, and every month a show picks out a gift, and we sponsor a giveaway. This month, Callow won. Callow's a big member of our Discord. All of our folks typically know Callow, and he won a copy of Hollow Knight on Nintendo Switch. Bored with Video Games is up next month. We have no idea what they're going to pick. We'll find out in a couple weeks. They'll put it up. If you would like to be entered in the thing, all of our patrons get it. It's not a certain tier thing. So if you $1, any patron gets in, we do a monthly giveaway. Obviously, we'd like to thank our Patreon producers. So thank you very much for supporting us, keeping the lights on. Coach Hoke, Callow, Devin, Kevin, Chris, Kyle, Joel, Professor Switch, and Bonesaw, which is Josh. And I was told the story why he's called Bonesaw, and it's a stretch. I don't know about that one. It's because his name is Boney, so they gave him Bonesaw. I mean,
It sounds painful.
sure.
No offense. But yeah, it just sounds... Oof. I think Saw and I think the horror films, and I'm like,
Caroline, we've both been playing Smash. We're all playing Smash. Everybody's playing Smash.
Yeah, and that's about it for me.
Really? That's all you're playing?
No,
You still
but
playing
see,
Maple Story?
listen, I log in every day for
Okay.
the Christmas event that they have going on. So there's like little freebies that you can get for the Christmas event. But I mean, I less than 30 minutes a day. But for Smash, I've been playing it pretty hardcore. Beat World of Light already.
Beat the Dark World too.
Okay, so like I mean, like I'm just saying, I thought that you go through the whole first big map. No, there's a completely separate map.
Right.
And
you misled the entire show and all of our listeners last week when you were chatting. We were like, I'm almost done with the game and you can't unlock everybody. So let me ask you this question. If somebody wanted to buy the game and just play World of Light and they beat both of them, can you unlock every character playing World of Light?
yes, that's how I did it.
That's the information people come for, Caroline.
That is how I did it. And 3 different endings. I've done all 3 of them.
How many cutscenes?
Like for the end, there's just literally like the 3 in
okay.
in
Is there
cutscenes.
anything in between there?
I'm not gonna say. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Okay.
So I will say that every single ending that you get is just like, what? Every single ending, you're
that's
just
good.
left thinking, what?
So one of my favorite things about Subspace Emissary, which to this day is still my favorite Smash anything, and I think it's 10 times better than World of Light ever wanted to be, is the fact that it was super weird and dumb. And that you see like Metroid and Princess Peach running off to a mission together, and like
It was
Donkey
Samus
Kong
and Pikachu. It was
and
adorable.
Yeah, so that stuff is great. It makes me miss it so much. And I understand that animation, all that is very expensive, but I still think like Smash is Smash. I think it warrants that investment. And I think this Smash would be way better if we had a legit story mode, a real story mode.
Let me tell you, I mean, like, I like this because it's like to me, it feels like a collectathon because I was going to every single node wanting to get every single spirit. At one point, when you get towards the end in the Dark World area, you come upon a trivia place where you pull up and they ask you a question. They give you like 4 or 5 different nodes and you pick the spirit. But once you unlock that spirit and proceed on to the next area, that's like the path that you're supposed to go to next. You can still collect all the other ones that are there. So it was just, I think I've gotten, I know for a fact that I got 500 spirits just from World of Light.
Nice. I was playing World of Light almost exclusively. I probably unlocked my first 20 characters that way. And then as I wanted to unlock the rest of them, because it got to the point where I started to get angry that we couldn't play with the characters we wanted to play with. So when we got to that point, then I started like the classic mode that everybody else was telling me so I could go and unlock the characters. Since I've unlocked them all, I haven't went back to World of Light. And I'm not because I was enjoying it. Like I did that Street Fighter bit, which was awesome. You're flying around and Japan, and that was really cool. It's neat. I think it's cool, like in bite-sized chunks. I don't think it's bad. I wouldn't say that. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's something to do. It's chunky. You can chew on it for a while. I still think it's like fun as like a single-player campaign. I don't think World of Light's anything you should sit down and play for like 4 hours straight.
Guilty.
I know that's what you did.
But see, I like those kinds of things that are grindy. It was very grindy for me. So I was like, I couldn't put it down. I was like, I got to get to the next area. I got to finish this. So I was looking at areas on the map before I got there and be like, okay, I got to go over here. And there's all these over here that I have to collect. And it's just one of those things where I get obsessed with something and I have to do it as fast as possible.
The spirit thing is really cool, especially when you find a character you really like. I definitely think if for me, it feels just a little padded because there's a lot of characters that I either don't like or really don't even know. There's just a lot of like ancillary things,
There were some like, it was like the kids from the World Team Games, like
some of that we could have cut it down. There are some really cool things that you get to do. Like you get to do, they have like this little, it reminded me of like Miitopia where you can send your spirits like on little cave missions to find stuff.
Yeah, that was fun. That's cute. I mean, you get pretty decent rewards from that.
Sure. You get like stores that you can buy things. Those are cool to open
up. The shops you can actually access. Like you don't have to go to these places on the map. I found out that if you go through the mini menu, you can actually go to rotate through all of the shops. There's 5 different stores.
Right, but only when you unlock them. You still have to unlock them first.
Correct,
you have to get
correct.
there. Yeah.
But you can check that inventory anytime and it continuously refreshes and restocks.
So that's a cool little mini game that you can do. You can have a little fun with that. And you've got dojos where you can kind of mold your spirits in the way that you want. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, I think it's good. It's something to do. I give it that. Like it's something to do solo. Oh, yeah. It's single player Smash content.
There's tons of depth to it too.
The battles are also fast, which I definitely enjoy because if they weren't, this would be much worse. It's definitely like every stage has a gimmick and they're trying, it's like the challenge. They're trying to teach you something.
A minute or less per each.
They're trying to teach you how to defend against folks with aerials, how to defend against folks, that are grounded, how to, how to deal with heavy characters. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to teach you, which I appreciate. I just feel like it's rather long. You play 10, 12 spirits in a row and you realize you've been sitting there for 20 minutes and you haven't really done anything. You've collected some stickers. And if none of them are like something that you really enjoy, like a favorite sticker, then you're just, at least for me, I'm just kind of like, You know, I'm just gonna go play something else.
There's some that I picked up that were 4 stars, which are the legend tier, and you know those are really hard to hard to get, and you have a great sense of accomplishment once you finally get them. But there's one, his name is Mr. Bison, and I had no idea where he was from. And
M. Bison.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It's from Street Fighter.
I had no idea.
Wow.
So yeah, like I was more of a Tekken and
okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody call him Mr. Bison. It's M. Bison.
Oh. I thought I said Mr. Bison.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody call him Mr. Bison. I'm gonna
look that up. Maybe I'm just wrong, and I just have been looking at it thinking that it was a Mr. there, but it's like an M period, so that's probably why. I deal with drafting letters to Misters and Mrs. every day. Okay, you can't blame me.
When you said that, it completely threw me off. I was like, wait a minute, is that somebody I don't know?
I leveled him up all the way, and the dude is a freaking beast. I mean, like, he's great. So, like, some of these characters that you don't even know, they end up being pretty OP if you take the time to train them.
What's your favorite spirit?
Well, I'm kind of biased. I like the Shantae one. There's a risky boots too.
What's your strongest spirit?
My strongest spirit? Alucard.
Alucard. I don't have Alucard yet.
You won't get him
until
quite
Dark
some
World?
time.
Okay.
Quite some time.
I have Venusaur leveled all the way up, and I have Springman leveled all the way up, and Springman's pretty, like, I have like a 12,000 Springman. He's pretty...
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so like anytime I go up against anybody like real good, Springman is the one I throw in there at the moment.
My Alucard is sword attack up, so you can imagine me with Link. I just absolutely slay, like immediately. Everything is just like one hit, 40% HP damage, done.
Okay, so now you've beaten World of Light. What are you doing now? You're going through all the classic modes?
Classic mode.
Okay.
So I have to get all of the spirits. You get each spirit for the fighter that you beat classic mode with. And I like it that it's not just the Smash art that they've done for this. They've actually taken pre-existing art that's been done. So I think like Ness was obviously his Earthbound art, like kind of like that clay painterly thing. That's his spirit. Daisy's definitely one from one of the weird sports games because it does not look good. It looks like it's from the GameCube era, and it's just bad. But I mean, I can appreciate that they're taking from different, games that these characters are from, and not just we made art for this. We're going to use this for their spirit.
Same thing over there. Yeah, I've done the classic mode with Pikachu, with Star Fox, and Jack did it with one of the other Pokemon. I don't remember, but yeah.
I'm going in order as I've unlocked all of them, and I'm just going.
All right. So let's talk about that then. Let's talk about the unlocking thing. All right, because this has been the bane in my existence all week since the moment I said anything negative about it. I've had people hit me on Twitter. I've had 50 message threads and people in Discord. Like every day, people are killing me about this. So here's what I'm going to try to do, because I already know you already know all my talking points. I'm going to try to reframe my point, because the thing that bothers me isn't that people disagree with me or people that, apparently hate anything that I say against Smash. is I don't feel like my point was well made, or at least I don't feel like people are sticking to it. The thing that's making me a little upset is the first thing that I've been hearing all week is Smash has always had unlockable characters and fighters all have unlockable characters. Basically kind of like painting me as Donnie hates that he has to work for characters. I've been called a millennial. I've been called a person that doesn't like to work hard. I've been called what's wrong with this generation.
A millennial.
I've been called, not a Smash fan, not a Nintendo fan. Like, I've been called all kinds of things. The issue that I brought up has nothing to do with the fact that you have to unlock characters. It doesn't have anything to do with that at all. I understand that's what fighting games do. I get that. The issue that I brought up is that there are 74 characters and you have to unlock 60 whatever of them.
Yeah,
90% of them. Or as I was corrected on Twitter, 89.3% of the characters in the game you have to unlock. So to me, that's fine if that's what you want to do. But for me, if I was making this game, I think a better option would have been the original 8 plus any one that you pick. Why? So you can play 20 hours with your main or your favorite. Sure. You could play World of Light with your favorite and not play as somebody that you don't want to play with, only to then unlock the person that you want to play with and then learn that person then.
For World of Light, I think that it defeats the purpose of Kirby being the only survivor. So I disagree on that point, but just for story purposes. But
maybe the first unlock in World of Light, you get to choose your hero. You play as
maybe.
Kirby, and then you unlock Mario, and then you get to pick one.
Well, but then you wouldn't be able to. I guess it could be like a question mark spirit instead of
you could just pick one. So the issue and the reason that I say that is my son wants to play as Greninja. He wants to play as Incineroar. He wants to play as Pokemon Trainer, and we didn't unlock any of those 7-8 hours into the game. We're in the second day of us playing before he got to play with any of those guys. I didn't unlock Corrin until like 4 days in Caroline. It was one of the last characters I unlocked. She was like in the 60s for me. So I didn't get to play with Corrin until like Wednesday.
Yeah, Corrin's pretty late in World of Light as well.
So my issue isn't that, it's not against unlocking characters. I want to play as Corrin. I wanted to learn as Corrin. By the time I ever got to Corrin, I had already mastered, or at least as good as I could ever master, Pikachu. And I wasn't going to stop playing with anybody else until I got them all unlocked.
Right.
So that's my only issue. Hero Shade in our Discord brought up a lot of great points. He brought up the point about me paying, because last week I said I bought the game. I paid $60 for the game. They marketed the game as having everybody, and I want to play as everybody. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't like that. I got called entitled. That was one of the words that was used on Twitter this week. Guys, I've really been taking on the chin for this. Who would have thought? Somebody arguing for player choice.
Run-of-the-mill Donnie hate.
Yeah, that's right. But I did want to respond to it because he said, name me a game that just gives you everything. And he said things like, you don't get all of Zelda's items when you start a game. You don't get all of Metroid's items when you start a game. That's correct. It's a fair response, fair rebuttal. I would respond to you, you don't play as Link's shield or Metroid's bombs. You play as characters. So if you were to take a real analogy, something that I think is apples to apples, imagine a WWF game. You buy WWE 2K, it comes with 60 characters out of the box. Imagine if that only gave you 5. Imagine if Madden came out and you could only play with one team until you beat all the other teams. That is an apples to apples orange or apples to apples comparison because it's a brand thing. You're picking your favorite. You're not being forced to pick a different one.
Right.
So that was my only concern. Do I care? Not really, because I like playing Smash and we unlocked them all. I unlocked them all. I joined the rest of you guys. I did it. I don't mind unlocking them. For some odd reason, I feel like I don't know where I got painted as this poster child for any anti-grind or work ethic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand it mostly from your point of view because you have a child and the child really wants to play something.
He doesn't care to play as Donkey Kong. He doesn't want to.
He's
not even playing World of Light. Doesn't want to.
I think there could be an option where you do implement something, if it's for, maybe you implement something that's like, if it's a child version, like parents have the children on their, I don't know if that's done away with on Switch now or not.
No. They don't have they might act, they've got child profiles. That's true.
Okay. So, yeah. I mean, put something on that and maybe there's a handicap.
So that brings me back to my original point. My original point wasn't that I didn't like unlocking them. It's that I just thought that there was an option. There was an avenue here to make it better.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to do was make Smash better. I think it would be better if you could use Amiibo to play as a character. Here's the thing. I didn't even go as far as unlocking it. You can still keep it locked. But if you had the Amiibo, you could use it in Exhibition. You still couldn't unlock it. You'd have to use an Amiibo every time until you unlocked it.
Sure.
But you could still play as Incineroar if you had the Amiibo. You could do something like that. That's not a problem. Or if Exhibition, let's say you could, ultimately what I think would have been great is if you could have just unlocked 1 or 2 characters from the start. I would have loved to have played World of Light as Corrin. I probably would have played more of it. To be quite honest with you, I probably would have played more of it. Because if I could have just picked a character you know what? I realize we have got to grind. I'm going to do it. Let me pick my favorite character to do it with.
That's just the thing, because once you've unlocked it in World of Light, it unlocks in World of Light and it unlocks in the main game. That's why I went through World of Light, because I wanted to complete both.
And that's another thing that really bothers me is when you unlock it outside of World of Light.
You can't play it.
And that sucks, because now I have a huge roster in Classic and Exhibition mode, and I only have 15 people in World of Light. And guess what? That kind of makes me not want to play World of Light anymore. I think it's just Sakurai's way of wanting you to play a single player mode. I think it's his way of wanting you to play with as many characters as possible. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to force people into playing with other characters. I think that's the goal.
And you know what? I have, I'm normally a Zero Suit Samus main, right?
Yeah.
And I cannot believe that the one that I played through the most on World of Light was Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
I played Pikachu. I never played Pikachu in Smash my entire life. Now I feel like I know all of Pikachu's moves, which is a good thing. Other people are like, see, you learned. That's right. I would have rather learned a different character.
I was shop with the dude the entire time. I pretty much beat the game. I switched over to Link near the end, but yeah, I just, as soon as I got that Alucard upgrade for the sword, I switched over to a sword wielder. It's crazy. I guess that is the good thing that comes out of it. You do get to experience more characters.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point. And you get to learn like different types of characters because World of Light kind of forces you into those challenges. There are definitely times where, even I call myself a Smash casual, maybe even just a Smash, fan from afar. There were definitely times where I realized like I was on a challenge, like I was combating range attacks, ain't getting there with one of my heavy characters. I gotta switch characters, come back. There's definitely things like that you learn, even me. So anyway, I still like Smash. I like Smash. I think it's a great game. It's got packed full of content. I wish the content was a little more accessible. I wouldn't be opposed if they sold a pass to unlock it. I actually think they will. I either think they will, or in time, I think they will just unlock it. They will patch in an option. Because I still think to this, because everybody was yelling at me on Twitter all week, these are the people that think that everybody's like them, and we have to keep reminding everybody that nobody's like us. There's nobody out there buying 50 games a year, playing every game, playing indie game. That's not people.
Yeah.
People bought Smash. It might be the only game they play this year. And if you were that person, so if I had a family member, just somebody said, hey, I bought Smash and I have 8 characters, I would understand their anger. If they were pissed off and they wanted to go trade it back in, I would I understand why. Because they saw that it has all the characters and they want to play as Snake or Bayonetta and they can't. And they're like, I don't have time to sit here and play this game. I understand that. Whether you want to say that's the right way or the wrong way or be a real guy or get good, that's outside of the question.
I said get good as a joke to you too. I was
like,
you
just
gotta get good.
I don't even call them gamers. Let's separate it. Most people aren't manually unlocking 74 characters in Smash. It's just not happening. We see that, and if you need any proof of that, go look up achievements on any game. Go look up achievements and see, go look at the game, the trophy that says I beat the game. Go to The Last of Us and see the trophy for beating The Last of Us on the easiest difficulty. Most people don't even get there. Most people don't beat games. That's
makes
true.
My heart hurt.
It does. But it also makes me realize, if that's the norm, then let's build a game around that and not the person that Caroline, and she streams 400 hours of the game and she beats everything in it. Because that's not normal.
Yeah, I know. I know I'm insane.
So all of you guys that were yelling at me, that was my point. I feel like maybe I put it in better perspective this time around. Last week was weird. We had Jason show up. Kevin was here. Kevin's never around. Caroline wasn't. I wasn't in my norm space. But hopefully that just kind of refocuses. He's
back on the leash. I made sure he's back on the leash.
So people stop yelling at me about being a millennial. God, the people are mean. And it was funny because Jason Schreier said the same thing over at Kotaku. He said one tweet about he didn't like the unlock system, and then 30 minutes later he had a tweet that said, if you ever wanted the internet to be angry at you, say one mild thing against Smash Brothers. He got the exact same thing. Just thousands and thousands of people. Oh, that's another thing I got a lot was, this is how Smash has always done it. Smash has done this forever. That is the most misleading thing I have ever heard of. Yes, Smash has always had unlocks. Smash has never hid 90% of the roster behind unlock, ever.
No, they haven't.
I looked it up. I ran the numbers. You go back to my tweet, you'll see it. I looked every one of them up. It's typically around 45% is usually locked.
Yeah. I'm thinking back to Melee when we had at least 3 rows. Yeah.
There you go. In Melee, I want to say you started with 14 and you could get to 26.
Yeah, there were at least 10
but you started with half. Even the WWE analogy that I came up, they start you with 70 characters. There's another 70 you can unlock, but they start you with 70. They don't start you with 3. It's weird. It's a weird.
I do feel like it's kind of more of an homage to the folks that played and grew up with the original one. And in soccer, I could have put that behind a veteran challenge mode or something, where you're a veteran to the game. This is the original roster. If you want to unlock everybody, here you go.
Even another alternative, I think all local exhibitions, you could just unlock the roster and then make people earn it for online, competitive, and World of Light play. That would have been totally fine. That'd have been totally fun. Who cares if my son can start Pokemon Trainer right out of the box? Who cares? Does anybody care about that? I don't care. But if you want to play online, you got to go earn it. I'm totally down with that. Let's go earn it. Like, that's something. Okay. Let's get off the Smash. I'm talking 20 minutes about Smash.
Soapbox, bye.
Soapbox, bye. I'm not, here's the thing. I'm not addressing this anymore. I feel like I've made my point. Oh my God, the amount of, that's it. It's over. Caroline, have you played anything else?
I have not.
Okay. I beat Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Yeah.
It took me 44 hours.
That's not so bad.
Donnie used to beat games. He never does anything. He just always quits.
Whose impression is that?
Everybody's.
Whose impression is that?
I'm telling you, I'm angry. I'm angry this week.
You sound like an old grandma.
All right, here's the thing. I love Valkyria Chronicles 4. I think it's one of my favorite games I've played this year. Seriously.
Nice.
It's great. It looks beautiful. The story is really good. There's a moment where a very, very strong... My dog is like going bananas. Can you hear all that?
No.
Okay. There's a moment in the game where a very prominent character does a big sacrificial thing, and it got me. Got me in the feels. It's like, oh my God. All right. When we first talked about this game, like back in September when I first got it, I was trying to tell you, I was like, it's not that bad. Like, Xenoblade's way worse. I was completely wrong. This is the most lewds thing ever. There's this hot tub scene, or this, it's not a hot tub, it's a hot spring. There's a hot spring scene.
Same thing.
Oh my. No. It's way worse. Now, there's no like graphic nudity. Don't get me wrong. This.
Okay, now Brian is going to be listening.
There's literally a moment where one of the soldiers tells the girl to go get him a sandwich. Now she rectifies the situation. She immediately drops back and like goes off on him. But she also, like, in her anger, she forgets her clothes. And they do like this weird thing where like people are covering up with their hands. It's completely lewd. It's very mature. It's probably sexist. It's probably chauvinist. I think
it's the Japanese RPG.
And there are a lot of people that are very upset with that, and they don't think that's an excuse. And I understand if you're one of those people, this game isn't for you.
I think it's funny. I
enjoyed it. I will say that. I'm not going to hide behind my feelings for trying to make people like me on the internet. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was great. I thought it was entertaining. It's definitely not a game for kids. Probably not even a game for teenagers in that realm. Maybe older teenagers.
Is it T for teen?
Yeah, it is. And it was really good. But I would say this. For those that just hate it for all things anti, for all, social justice warriors out there, for anything like that, anytime that they have a moment like that, they typically follow it up with a very strong female lead character. And I think that's worth it. It's the same thing that like Bayonetta does. Yeah, exactly. It's a very similar thing to anything like that. So I really enjoyed it. It's gorgeous. It runs well. It plays well. The story is great. It's a ton of game. There's so much to do. That final chapter took me like a day.
All right. I have questions.
Okay.
This is the 4th installment in the series.
Yep. I've only played the first one.
All right, didn't the first one come to Switch too? Hasn't it been ported?
It is it's $20 too. It's a $19.99 and it's remastered and you can just play it.
Oh, it's remastered.
Yeah, it's a remastered game. I'm pretty sure it's a remastered game port from the PS4 because the PS4 got Valkyria Chronicles remastered and then a year later they got Valkyria Chronicles 4 and then Switch got Valkyria Chronicles 4 and then they got Valkyria Chronicles.
2 and 3, where are they?
They're on PlayStation 3, I believe.
You think they have a chance of getting ported?
I hope not, because I never played them. I remember following reviews about them, and I don't think they're not awful, but they're also not like remembered like Valkyria Chronicles are. They don't hold that like prestige.
All right, so is everything chronological, or is it
everything in Valkyria Chronicles 4 takes place during the same time frame as Valkyria Chronicles on a whole separate front and a whole separate team? You can play Valkyria Chronicles 4 and not have any connection to the rest of the series, and I mean, I played Valkyria Chronicles 1. I didn't beat Valkyria Chronicles 1. I just played it and liked it. Probably because it was on console. I've never beaten a Fire Emblem game that was on console. I've never beaten like you put these things on portable machines and I play them. You put them on consoles and I play them, but I never finish them.
Okay. It might be something that we pick up just because it's a Brian game. I
think you should. I really enjoyed it. I really did. And here's the other thing. From like an action or like shootery perspective, some of the, and this is the point I was going to bring up to you. I really actually hope Fire Emblem takes a page out of this book, because if they don't, I feel like I'll miss a little bit. On the battlefield, they really set the stage in like a grand sense. You see like bullets flying all through the sky, explosions going on. It feels like you're in war. Whereas Fire Emblem, like the map is like barely doing anything. Like there's nothing going on in the map. You just have like two fighters that, hit each other with a stick.
Yeah.
I would like more of that. And seeing, like in Fire Emblem Three Houses, seeing the battalions that they control.
Right.
I'm hoping that we see like a Dynasty Warriors thing where there's stuff going on in the background while you're doing your character to character stuff.
Well, the way that it's zooming in on the map from the over map to the one-on-one fights as soon as you make your move, I think that it's definitely got the possibilities that that's going to happen, just because I don't know, I was blown away just about how seamless it was just going into the fight. There's no weird zoom in blur and then everybody's 3D all of a sudden.
Yeah. And Valkyria, I bet if you played Valkyria Chronicles 4, not to say it's better or worse, but I just think if you played it, you would immediately go, "Oh, I wish Fire Emblem would do some of this," because it's fun in that way. The action, not like, and it would be very anti Fire Emblem to do this, but the ability to move units in 3D in action is so much better than looking at like a grid map. It's just better. It's just better. So I like that. I would love it if they took a page out of that book. And it's very much, it's an anime style. Everything.
Yeah, I know. Xenoblade or Valkyria, which do you prefer?
Which, like, just series overall?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're both that anime JRPG.
Kinda,
at least the
but they're just very different games. And like the hard part for me is, of all the Xenoblade games, I think I like playing X the most, but I think I like the story and the characters from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 the most.
Right.
And I just haven't played enough Valkyria Chronicles to really give it. And so if you were to ask me, like, Donnie, you have to play a game tomorrow for the next 3 months, which game would it be out of any of those series? It'd probably be Valkyria Chronicles 4. I'd rather play that than X, and I'd rather play that than Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but I like strategy tactics. I like these games. These are the games I like. I like these probably more than standard RPG. All right. That type of stuff.
I've been debating getting it. It's just the militaristic kind of tanks and stuff threw me off of the
There's
beginning.
A lot of that.
And I mean, like, I like military anime and stuff, but at the same time, it's just not, when I think of a game, I'm like,
this is, and Valkyria Chronicles actually in a lot of ways, it's just kind of like a modern take on Advance Wars.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it really kind of is. So, like, back in Advance Wars, it was a 2D map with tanks and stuff. Now it's just like in 3D with cutscenes.
Well, I liked the Wars games just because it was, tactical.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it.
In this one, they added, I didn't know this. I played the first one, but it's been so long. I either forgot or was not really paying attention to it. But in this one, you have Grenadiers, where apparently that wasn't a thing before. So you've got your tanks, you've got snipers, you've got riflemen, you've got scouts, you've got anti-tank. I don't even know what they call them. Anti-tank folks. They have like this. They're slow, but they can take out tanks. Yeah. But the Grenadiers are like brick houses, man. They literally lay the smack down. You don't want to be on the wrong end of the enemy Grenadier. If you see a Grenadier on the field, you strategically take it out.
This is such a Brian game. He loves war. He loves.
There's pillboxes that you've got to take out for like from behind, and there's all kinds of. It's good.
maybe we'll have.
And the battles are big. Like the battles are huge. The maps are big.
Yeah.
Like,
I've seen gameplay.
Okay, I was gonna say, if you get in a battle, you might be there for like an hour.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that was part of the demo. I don't think did it justice in terms of how big the scale was. I did the demo a little bit, and it was pretty short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's slow. Like Justin on our team is the one that sold me the game because he got it early, and because I was waiting for the special edition to go on sale, which it has. Like, I'm almost wanting to go get it again, because I really like it. But he was just like, it's just too slow for me. It is slow. Like, you're not gonna like get your way through it like a Fire Emblem game. I like tactics and thinking things through and taking the time. I mean, like I said when I got it, and I still think it still rings true, the best thing I can say about it is if you're a Fire Emblem fan and you're having a hard time waiting, this is the game for you.
Okay,
get this and play this.
That's good
and
to know.
You'll be just good. You'll be good. And I honestly think it's one of the most beautiful games on Switch. The idea that Switch has a 40-hour game that's super pretty and everything like that,
that's what surprises me, though, that it's just 40 hours. I'm used to my JRPGs being like Octopath.
There's
and
post-game that I didn't do and probably won't do. There's also a DLC episode that I watched on YouTube. So if you want to show Brian anything, there's a DLC episode where they go to the beach and they all put on swimsuits. Super lewd.
All of the anime tropes. So, okay, what's this Memoirs from Battle Premium Edition that I'm seeing for $100?
So that's the one that's got the little tank statue and the journal and everything. That's the one I wanted. And I've seen it on discount down to $60. And I was waiting for it to come down, but then Justin made me a deal I couldn't refuse. Now, if you want to buy this from Brian, I'll sell you my copy on the cheap because I want that collector's edition. Now that I've played it, now I want the collector's edition. I want the tank. Yeah, I want it. I want the journal and stuff.
Oh, no. We'll see. So, okay. Yeah, I'll let you know.
All right. So let's get on to some news. That's what we've been playing, Shaq Faithful. So, you know what? I'm sorry. I played like 45 minutes of Gris, which I thought was Gris.
Gris.
Yeah, apparently Gris. It's called Gris, and that's like the French word for gray.
Gray.
Is what I learned in reviews today. That's the most beautiful game I've seen in a long time. It's stunningly gorgeous.
I've seen pictures.
It's beautiful. It the first time I moved the character, like I took control of the character and moved it and saw it move, I was like, wow. I looked at my wife, I was like,
the style is really pretty.
I feel like I'm moving like a cartoon right now. Like, look at the style of this animation. You probably never played it or maybe even investigated it, but it very much reminds me of a 2D version of Journey. The similarities between this game and Journey are striking. My wife was like, this is like a copycat. She was like, these people should be sued. I don't go that far.
It's the style of game.
It's more colorful, but like in Journey, you have like this robed character that you like spin through the sands of the desert and jump on stuff. And in Gris, you're jumping off a little like broken pillars and stuff. It's like, it's very, very similar. The art and music's great. If you're not into like, I would call it a visual narrative, because so far all the story is environmental, and I know some people don't like that.
Okay.
If you're not into that, this game's probably not for you because there's not going to be any dialogue. They're not going to exactly tell you what they're doing. It's for you to interpret. For my first hour of the game, obviously I'll give you more impressions as I beat it, but my first hour impressions, the story looks to be like she lost her voice and she has to go find it, and you find like these things and they make like these little notes and you can jump across like gaps and stuff. Yeah, it's just like you hop around, you find stuff, it helps you hop around to the next place, you keep hopping around. If you're not going to appreciate it for how gorgeous it looks and how beautiful it sounds, then this is not the game for you. If you're not into the artsy stuff.
I like artsy games.
Oh, it's great. I'm excited. When we get done with this, I'm going to play this while I edit. Like while I'm waiting for the video to render, I'm going to totally go play this game. I was into it after my first hour. Okay. So we talked about Smash. Yeah. Smash is selling gangbusters. We don't exactly know how, but here's what we do know. It sold 1.22 million copies in Japan and 280,000 consoles in Japan its first weekend.
That's an ungodly number.
For Japan. And so, like, Americans, if you're hearing this and you don't really follow numbers, that's insane. That's more than 3 times what Switch sold the week before it. It tripled Switch sales. Like, selling 1 million copies Japan in a week, in a month, selling 1 million copies Japan is huge. Selling it in a weekend is insane. It's the fastest selling Switch game in Japan and UK. UK hasn't released numbers yet, but they totally came out and said it's the fastest selling Switch games. We don't know US yet, but it looks like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is on its way to becoming probably the best selling Switch game, especially if it has any type of tail at all. Definitely probably the biggest launch. And
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and it's got an advantage. It's got more people buying games because they've sold more systems. But the point that I'd like to make here is that Smash, while everybody loves it, and like Nathan is playing Smash, which is great to see him playing a Switch again, and he's talking about how, him and his friends played Smash, and there's definitely people out there. I just like to remind everybody, Smash is not like that first pillar Nintendo. It's not a Pokemon. It's not a 3D Mario. It's not a kart. It typically doesn't do the numbers that other franchises do. Maybe that's changing because this game is selling like those games. Smash in its first week is selling like kart. It's selling crazy good. Everybody's buying it. So we'll see. We'll see how long it sticks around.
Here's a statistic. I just looked up the population of Japan as of 2017. 126.8 million, so 127 million. That means it's just a little shy of 1% of the entire population of Japan owns a copy of Smash Brothers.
That's crazy. In its first weekend.
In its first weekend, that's what I'm saying. In its first weekend, yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Our NES Switch Online got its updates. We knew these games were coming. Adventures of Lolo, Ninja Gaiden, Warrior Woods. But we did not know that Dr. Mario Metroid were getting the SP Special Edition treatment. You can now play Dr. Mario at level 20 and high speed right from the get-go. And you can play a version of Metroid where you have all of Samus's abilities and it puts you right before the Ridley fight. So if you never made it to the end of Metroid, you can skip ahead. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I've never played Metroid, period. So
Hey, that's a good time. It's as good a time as ever.
Sure.
eShop Spotlight is something I'd like to... I want to do this, but here's the thing. Like every Nintendo podcast does this, and I'm not throwing stones at other Nintendo podcasts, but I really hate it when people just read off lists of games. It just feels like boring audio. So here's what I want to do. I want to curate the list. I think curation is important.
Okay.
So only things that we think are notable. So we're not going to read every mobile game and everything that comes to Switch.
Okay.
So here are the eShop Spotlights that are out today on your Switch you can buy right now that I think are important. Obviously, Gris. We have Firewatch, which I adored on Xbox. I got to see some reviews on that. I saw some screenshots that didn't look too hot. It definitely looked dummied down, which I don't enjoy.
I've seen screenshots of it, so I know which game it is.
Yeah. Quarantine Circular, which was announced at the Kinda Funny Showcase. That's the Mike Bethel game that Seth loves. Roller Coaster Tycoon dropped today. I know a lot of people like that.
I was tempted to get it. It looks really good. I'm an old school Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I think my wife would like it. She remembers playing it in like computer lab or something. I showed it to her, and she's like, I remember playing that in school. So
I own the original Roller Coaster Tycoon and the other 2 expansions on Steam. So it's good stuff.
There's an Atari Flashback Classics that just dropped.
I don't know if that would be good.
But I know Retro Fans Collection. I put them there. Notable.
Was it Pong?
Yes. Sega Ages Phantasy Star. So Sega Ages are these like virtual console releases. Right. I know people love Phantasy Star. I've never played it. So
Phantasy Star Online was the only one that I liked.
Love that junk. So that junk is out there.
Yep.
All right, Caroline, I'm really excited because Suda51 is teasing a huge announcement for Travis Strikes Again next week.
I saw, and I immediately thought about you.
I don't know what it could be. Here's the thing. There's a lot of people on Twitter, and Kevin, I will give him credit. I think Kevin was the first person that I seen say it, but I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying the same thing. No more Heroes ports to Switch. I just don't think it. He doesn't port a lot of things. I mean, he does port everything, but typically doesn't port. It's not like that. It's not a fast turnaround. His ports have a long turnaround.
If it does, then I'll get into the series. If it does.
I would need to know. All right, so here's the thing.
I think you're getting a release date for sure.
Oh, no, so we already have a release date. It's coming out in January.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's coming out in January. It's on the eShop now. We did learn, as expected, the digital version of the game is at a discount. You get a much cheaper rate. It's $24.99 in Europe, which I think converts to $30, although I haven't checked the eShop in America yet. I could see it being $24 here as well. The physical copy is $40, and it comes with a season pass. Now, here's the interesting thing. Nobody knows what the hell the season pass is. And I don't know, maybe this is a part of the nobody knows. Nobody knows what it is.
What if Travis is going to be DLC number 2?
So I would love that. I've been saying that for a long time. I want Travis Touchdown Smash. I just don't think Suda is definitely not making that announcement. Nintendo would make that announcement. And I also don't think Travis is even on Nintendo's radar. I don't think they would give him that honor, but I would love it. He has a beam katana. He's a freaking awesome character.
He's on Nintendo's radar because they hosted him in the directs. I mean, he's been in directs. So
I would love it. You have no idea how I would just go. You have no idea.
If Persona is in.
Persona is of way bigger stature and prestige than anything Suda's ever done.
It's a Sony title.
I know. For now, but I know. So here's the thing. He's announcing something huge. He says huge. Now, for me, I'm going on the limb of, like, the newest indie game is getting a shirt, and Travis, like, that might be huge. I don't know. Maybe here's the other thing I said is maybe he's getting a spirit in Smash. That would be huge for Travis Touchdown. Like, for that, most people don't know who Suda is. I've learned this after I met him. Like, I was really excited, super excited, and everybody's asked me who it was. I've learned that. Right?
Hey, you took a picture with Wario64. I remember that.
Exactly. But I bought this game a long time ago. I bought it with trade-in credit at GameStop, so I'm getting the physical version, and I'm getting whatever the season pass is. I don't know what it is. They did announce with the eShop listing the game's 5 gigs. So, like, SteamWorld Dig 2, for example, is less than a gig, I think. So,
that's pretty substantial.
It could be a substantial game, and I like some hackathons. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Travis Strikes Again is, because I like Suda games. Now, here's what I will say. In the last month, I've played Killer 7 Remastered on Steam. In the last 6 months, I've played the Silver Case HD Collection on PlayStation 4. These remasters that he's been doing, while visually updated, is great. their controls are completely original, and it's driving me nuts because I have aged out of it. I can't keep. I played Killer 7 for about an hour, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. He's got to start modernizing his controls. He's got to. So if he's going to bring No More Heroes to Switch, it's got to use motion controls, and they've got to have a modern control option. Like, he does weird things, Caroline, where like you turn with the triggers and walk forward with a button. It looks dumb.
Yeah, that's dumb. Pretty old.
It's old school. Like Killer 7's control scheme is untouched from GameCube. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like,
well, some people probably enjoy that.
I know. But you need another option. You need a standard option and then an old option. So, and a lot of his stuff, the problem is a lot of the movement in his games aren't like 3D real movement. No More Heroes is, but like Killer 7 and like the Silver Case are kind of on rails. Like you kind of go forward and turn right and go forward. You know, it's so you really can't, but it would have been better if he remade it so you could.
I gotcha.
Stardew Valley's 1.3 multiplayer patch hits Switch.
Put that in there.
Was it today?
Yesterday.
There you go.
And I've heard that it's kind of buggy, actually.
I would expect that.
Yeah, that it's kind of laggy and it's causing people to like stutter around their farm, like just very. So
you got to think.
I'm worried about that. I haven't booted it up, but we'll see.
Is this their first ever online game? I would imagine. Was it? What's their developer's name?
Chucklefish.
Chucklefish. I wanted to say it, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to offend anybody.
No, they've done this for Steam, but I don't know what it is.
Do they have any other game?
I'm not sure.
Like, I just know them as the Stardew people.
I'm pretty sure they've done something else. Pretty sure they have, and I know they've got a good amount of stuff coming out, but I don't know.
Okay.
Founded in 2011, so Starbound, Stardew Valley, Wargroove?
Yeah. Okay. They're helping on that. But I think with online...
Games developed, Starbound was their first. And, well, Wargroove.
Are they producing it? Like, they're working with the other indie developer, but I think they were, like, co-publishing. I don't know. I remember looking that up when Wargroove was announced.
Okay, so Concerned Ape is technically the developer.
Yeah.
And Chucklefish is the publisher. So, Concerned Ape, the only one that they've done is this one.
Yeah, so I would imagine like this is really kind of their first foray into multiplayer, especially multiplayer on Switch. So I would expect it to be rough early on. That's okay. Stick with them. You know, these are the little indie games that could. Don't hold them to the standards of, they don't have billions and billions of billions to hire net coders.
Sure.
So that's okay.
Ooh,
I'm okay
Donnie,
what's up?
It is $64.07 on Amazon, right? Oh, sorry, wait, that's the PlayStation 4 edition. Yeah, the Switch version is still $93.
It was $57 the other day, and I was this close to talking Lobo into giving me 20 for mine, and so I could put the 20 towards the other one. Like I was this close. I really want. Here's the thing that I think I'll probably do. I think I'll just go hawk the Journal and Tank separately. I think I'll just go to eBay and find one of those and just buy one.
Sure.
I think I can buy them for like $20 a piece, but I want one. I do want.
That's not bad. But then you have the box. Like I'm just one of those people that has.
I know. Box. I'm not. I don't care.
Yeah.
I gave you my box for Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't care. I don't need that stuff. I want the things I want, and if I don't want it, I don't care. It's worthless to me. Okay. We have 2 chat questions. I wish I grabbed my Switch for this one because this one from Jessica. Caroline, Jessica sent this question like a month ago.
I know it's been on here over and over, and I recognized it. We're sorry.
We're sorry. Our shows are running long. We've had Smash. We wanted to get to this. Here's Jessica's question: do you ever use the wish list feature on the Nintendo eShop? She says that we do, and on her, if we do, what's on our wish list? She says she keeps a list of games going. She checks it every week. She says she has over 40 games saved to her wish list.
Wow. I don't use the actual wish list, but I have my own Excel spreadsheet for my collection that I have going, and the ones that I want, I list. And I won't read all of them off, but I mean just
your
ones
entire
that
collector spreadsheet.
Most of the time, well, I mean it's actually not that much. So I mean like wish list, Animal Crossing to be coming out, Bayonetta 3. Sure. Captain Toad, I still don't have. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, I still don't have. Daemon X Machina, Fire Emblem, Kirby Star Allies, Lego City Undercover, Luigi's Mansion 3, Mario Tennis Aces, Metroid Prime 4, Mineko's Night Market, can't wait. Moonlighter, which is actually already out, and I just haven't, like, a lot of these games are out. I just haven't purchased them. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, the Nintendo Labo 2 and 3 that I don't have, Pokken Tournament DX, Snipper Clips Plus.
The sequel, Snipper Clippers.
Snipper Clippers, that would be adorable.
It's like Overcooked. It's like a 4-player multiplayer snipper clip thing. Snipper Clippers. I like it. Caroline, we're on to something.
Story of Seasons, which has been announced that it's in development, but nobody knows what it is because they just won't tell us. Super Mario Party, Sushi Strikers, Tales of Vesperia, Town, which is that new one coming out from, oh my gosh, Game Freak. And then Yoshi's Crafted World. So really, I have a running list always going when something gets announced. I put it on my list for it. I have a huge, long running Nintendo list of things that I want to buy.
Sure.
And that's really where my wish list is. So that's current wish list.
When this question was asked to us, the reason that I put it on our list and the reason I jumped on it so quickly was I'm a lot like Jessica. And I do use the wish list feature all the time. And it's something that I really wish Xbox had because they don't. Mm-hmm. And I do use it on PlayStation as well. I like this. So anytime a game of note comes out, if I see it in a presentation or anything like that, it's one of the first things I do. Is I go to the eShop and I bookmark it, wishlist it, just so everybody whines and whines and whines about how awful the eShop is, right? I never have a problem because when I go to buy something, it's a click into my profile and I click into my wish list.
No, that's true.
I bypass all that mess. So on my wish list right now, I have Gris and Everspace, which I've already purchased. So we have I have both of those already. I have the Sega Classics collection. I'll get that whenever it hits a sale. I have Y2K. Did you see this from the Game Awards thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got that postmodern RPG thing. I've Guacamelee 2.
Yeah.
Have you seen this thing called Screen Cheat?
No.
So there's a game called Screen Cheat where it's like a 4-player shooter, but all the characters are invisible, and you have to. So it's think of old school. Think GoldenEye, like 64, right? The screen is cut into 4s, and you have to use the other person's point of view to figure out where they are to shoot them.
That's interesting.
And it's all cartoony and stuff. So I've got that on here. I've been monitoring that.
Extremely disorienting.
Oh yeah, I want to play a demo of it probably first.
That's getting good.
I've got Cities, Skylines, Windjammers. Let's see here, Civ 5. Got that on here.
Civ 5
or Civ 6, whatever Civ is, whatever Civ we're on. This War of Mine, the complete edition, which is a game from Vita that I've been monitoring for quite some time. I have SteamWorld Heist on here, and I don't know why. I bought it and I played it. I didn't beat it. I played most of it. Maybe I beat it. I don't remember. I played a lot of it on 3DS because I think even reviewed it. I reviewed it on 3DS, so I probably beat it. Wasn't my favorite. I didn't like it as much as World, but for some odd reason, when they brought it over, I put it on my wish list. Like if it ever goes on sale for like super cheap, I'll just pick it up again. Like I do that, so whatever. Horizon Chase Turbo, Deathmark, Valiant Hearts. Valiant Hearts is another one of those games I loved. I'll play that one day. Child of Light. You know, Gris is a lot of Child of Light and Gris. Well, Child of Light's an RPG, so they're very different in that regard. But artistically, they're similar. They're very similar. I have Mark of the Ninja, The Messenger. One day I'll buy that and play that. The Messenger. I have Sleep Tight, which is a game I played at MomoCon, which is like this tower defense game. It's super fun.
Yeah, I remember you telling us about that.
That's a really good one. And one day when it goes on sale, I get it. And that's, and actually that's probably what my wish list is more than anything. It's a list for me to watch prices.
Sales, yeah.
Yep. So I just go in here and I just kind of see if anything's on sale. I've got Skyrim on here. Like, so Skyrim
maybe I should start using that. But the thing is with me, I don't hardly buy anything on the eShop. If it's physical, I much prefer to get the physical. So that's probably why I'm not using it.
That makes sense. I have Worms WMD, which is a game I absolutely love. I got to review. It was one of our first review games. It might have been our first review copy. Worms WMD I reviewed for Xbox One, and it came to Switch. And as far as I've known, I've not seen it on sale. It's for $30, and I wouldn't pay $13 for it. But if you can ever get it below $10, it's super fun. Me and my son love the crap out of the game. It is a lot of fun, but it needs to not be $30 a lot.
Yeah.
So, our next question. What was the last video game gift you received from your parents, and how old were you? One Christmas, my mother bought DS Lights for me and my siblings. I was about 29 at the time. That's from Ryan Craig, Math Man Craig.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Does it count if she gives you GameStop gift cards?
I mean, I guess, but like that doesn't sound like a really good story.
I get those every year.
So, all right, so here's the thing. I've got 2 Christmas stories. They're both pretty sad.
Okay. Yeah, you and your parents. I can only imagine.
So that's where I wanted to go with this.
Well, I honestly can't remember. So here's the thing. Ever since I've had a job, and this has been since, college, so it's probably
you're
been
like, what,
since
40
college.
now? So it's like 20 years, something like that?
Yeah, so I mean, I've always bought games that I want, and my parents, the ones that I want, I just end up buying immediately as I want them. So I've never had an actual wish list. God, the only one I can remember in memory was my parents got me Skyward Sword because it came out in November and my birthday was December 8th.
With the Wiimote?
No, that was just it.
Oh,
so
no.
They gave me Skyward Sword, right?
And you're like, what is this?
I turned it on and I was like, wait a second, do I need that new thing? And it sure enough, it said on the corner, it says needs Wiimote Plus.
Yeah.
So I had to go to the store before I could even play it.
Sure.
Grab a Wiimote Plus, and then come back. So that's the only thing I remember out of recent memory, and that was 2011. So that's 7 years ago.
One of my stories is very similar to that, so I won't tell it. I think I told it on OT's Christmas show last year, actually. But my dad...
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
My dad bought me a PS2 and no games. So it's very similar.
I know what you're talking about.
Now, my other story is just really sad. So before I say this, just note, disclaimer here, Donnie is just sharing the story because now, in retrospect, it's kind of funny. I'm not looking for...
You have a weird sense of humor anyway, so I'm going to be crying here in a second.
I'm not looking for any guilt or anything like that. Don't. All right, we all have our walks in life. I'm just telling you the story because it's true. It happened, and it's kind of funny. I've told the story to my wife, and she's just like, she just hates the story. She's just like, this is the worst. But I'm gonna tell you, it's not that sad. It's just bad. It's not sad. It's bad. Okay. All right. So my mom wasn't the best person in the world. We've covered this in other podcasts. I don't want to tell the story now because we're almost running out of time. But she just had a life, and both of my parents have passed away now. So I'm not talking about them like in real life now. They've moved along. One year, one of my last years. That I was still with my mom, for Christmas, I woke up and I had a Walmart bag tied up like a grocery bag tied up under the tree. So I go to open it and it is a PlayStation 1. Now it is like 2000, 1999, something like that. It's almost around the turn of the century. Mm-hmm. I was not having the PlayStation 1 this time. I was like, okay, sure. The sad part is that I realized after I opened it, and it's just kind of like a lukewarm. I was like, oh, okay, it's another video game system, right?
Yeah.
At the time, I had an N64. So I went to go hook up the PlayStation. My N64 was gone. And so were all of my games. My mom, in needing money, had hawked and pawned my Nintendo 64 and games to get some money. And then to make it right, she took a little bit of that money and got me a PlayStation 1.
I would have beat the crap
out of her. And a really, really crappy wrestling game called WWE Attitude. So, I had, Zelda, and I had NWO Revenge, and I had Majora's Mask, and I had Smash, and I had Mario, and I had my games. And it had gotten pawned, and I got a PlayStation 1 with WWE Attitude. And it sucked, and I was super pissed. It's probably the worst Christmas. And when I tell that story to my wife, she's just like, oh my God, you poor child. And it's not about that. That's not why I'm telling you the story. I eventually got another Nintendo 64. I've had dozens of them. Don't feel bad. It's just kind of a funny story.
Still, it's a funny story. You were 10?
Yeah, something like that. I was 10, God. 10 or 11.
I would have just gone.
It's one of those things now when I sit back and I'm like, these are stories that comedians tell. These are stories that, your lot in life.
No way, dude. I would have gone absolutely violent.
I was pretty pissed. For a 10 or 11-year-old, I'm not going to lie to you. I was, my mom was like, I thought you liked PlayStation. I was like, this sucks. I was so mad.
I
was like, this is so old, Mom.
Yeah, right.
It did play CDs, though. I give her that credit. It played CDs. I listened to music on my TV.
But we've come full. Oh, you mean like CDs?
No. Yeah, no. It played CDs.
I'm about to say we've come full circle now, and we're back to cartridges.
That Nirvana CD played great. You know, like you listen to music when I wasn't playing that awful WWE game.
I was always jealous that PS2 got to play DVDs, and so my friends just automatically had a DVD player.
The music thing was cool. Like so Sony always like having DVDs, having Blu-ray. That's a sweet, like, I'm surprised Nintendo never got in on that market. That's a Nintendo thing, a Trojan horse. You know, you'd imagine that they would have been on top of that, but yeah. So anyway, it was fun. I eventually got really good PlayStation games, and I enjoyed it. And then I eventually got another Nintendo 64, and I had both. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just a funny Christmas story. It's a funny story. Man, if you've never had anybody pawn your stuff, it's an interesting feeling.
I would have gone ballistic.
Did you say your parents like threw away your N64 or your SNES?
No. They sold my Genesis.
Oh, so they sold it.
They sold my Genesis.
Kind of like pawning it.
Well, they sold the Genesis and all of the games that I had on eBay for $25.
That's even worse. So like years later, when it was actually worth something, they sold it for like
super
cheap.
I'm still working on getting all my games back. And
that's like worse, actually, Caroline. I think your story is worse than mine.
You're $40 a pop. But see, like they did that because, you have enough game systems and you're not playing that one anymore anyway. But it's like, but I will.
You have enough game systems. That's fun. Anyway, thank you, Shack Faithful, for listening to another episode of Nintendo Shack. Nintendo Shack, what is it, 59?
59.
Shack Part Deux.
Means we've been doing this over a year. We've been doing individual shacks.
That's right. Yep. Again, we don't do plugs anymore, so I'll just say I'll plug our Patreon one more time, patreon.com/PSVG. We met all of our goals. Thank you so much for the community supporting us. It means the world to us. It really, really does. I think you've already seen it. Our patrons have already seen it. We've been posting stuff weekly on Patreon. We funded our community game nights, which I'm happy to report the first community game night for PSVG Patreon, as it should be, is Shack Night. Shack Night is this Saturday, so if you're listening to this on release day, the release day is Friday the 14th. So Saturday the 15th. Shack Night. If you want to take on Jason Lacey, this is your time. Find us in Discord. Find us on Twitter. We'll start tweeting about it. But Saturday night, probably around 8 or 9, we're going to do a stream on Twitch. We're going to put up our stuff. Hopefully our internet issues are fixed by then. And we're going to play Smash together. Now, here's the thing. I got these hands problems this week. I don't know how much I'm going to play. It might be me sitting with Jack. I might be emceeing a bit. But we're going to play. So come take on Kevin. Come take on Seth. Come take on Nathan. Come take on Jason. We're going to play it. We're going to stream it. I'm
not a competitor, huh?
Oh, sorry, Caroline. Sorry.
I suck. It's okay.
So I was going to ask, can you do 8-player online?
I think so.
Okay, so we may have to do a lot of that, and then if we need to branch off, maybe we start splitting into separate rooms. Okay. We may need like the elite room, like Nathan and Jason and them, and then like us casual room. I need like the baby room.
I'll get Brian in on it, and he will just wreck all of us because he
needs to be over in the other room then.
Probably.
But I'm definitely looking forward to it. We have a calendar now at PSVG where we're logging all of these community game nights. For those of you that are like, well, I don't really do Patreon and stuff like that, we understand. All of our shows are still going to be here. But I will tell you this. Not only do you get in the community giveaway, not only do you get all the other stuff, we have a mailing list and all that. One of our goals that was funded was PSVG DLC, which is our new 18 and plus mature podcast. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun stories and of drinking games and things like that. It's going to get crazy. And that's coming in 2 weeks. Right after Christmas, we record the first episode of PSVG DLC. And I have no idea. Well, the first episode of every show is terrible, but I have no idea what this is going to become. Because kind of everybody has a different vision and it'll probably be something completely different month to month, which is really fun. And again, just for supporting us with just $1, you get PSVG DLC through your RSS feed, through Patreon. You also get a cool Patreon Discord. So I'll try to stop plugging Patreon so much, guys, but we just launched it. It was a lot of work, so just give me a break, cut me a little slack.
We're doing all right.
Yeah, it's been a blast, really.
Yeah.
Caroline, any parting final words?
See you guys Saturday night.
Saturday night. Challenger approaches. Caroline's dropping the gauntlet. She's bring it on.
I suck.
I'm sure you can't beat World of Light if you suck. Like,
No,
you can't beat it if you
okay.
suck.
So in my defense, I have gotten better since I played somebody online the day it came out. But yeah, I'm still just not that great.
I've died. I cannot beat Bomberman in World of Light. By the way, I've tried to take him on like 5 different times. I've left and come back.
That stage is crazy though,
and he's driving me nuts. There's bombs going. I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah, you got to get good.
It's a frustrating mess. World of Light is a frustrating mess. If you want to throw your controller, play World of Light. That's it for us. Good night, Koopalings. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week when the Shack is back.